Hello everyone. Today we have with us Mr. Abhay Tewari. He is the MD and CEO of Star Union Dai-ichi Life Insurance Company. He's also an actuary by profession. We'll not go into details of his profile because he's been a dynamic person who has worked from sales to the CEO position. And being an actuary is something a great combination for life insurance, and that's why it brings me over here to you, sir. To start with, I would like to ask a very generic question, like about the Indian insurance industry. Okay, of course it is digitized. How digitized it is according to you? Is it completely digitized? Are we on the way? Any gaps?
Well, first of all, let me thank you for hosting me here, Ganesh. It's like a privilege to be a part of this industry for the last 22, 23 years, maybe right from 2000, 2001. So, as you rightly mentioned, I have been seeing it when it was a one company, LIC, and then we opened the market. The market was opened up, and a lot of companies started coming in. Now that the phase of digitization is an ongoing journey, is what I feel. I mean, it's like a thing which has evolved over the last 23, 24 years, and this journey, I would say, is still not complete. So if you want to know that whether it is a complete digitization, of course not. I feel we have covered a lot over this 23, 24 years, and the industry is now seeing very lot of ease of onboarding for customers, lot of ease on the claim settlement side. We see very high quality underwriting happening, automated underwriting happening. We see a lot of investment side, because this is on the liability side. When we take the risk on our books, we are also seeing a lot of automation happening on the asset side of management, where the companies are trying to launch quant based investment funds, where the artificial intelligence can augment the human intelligence, and those kind of things are also being worked upon. But then I would say that when I look at some of the companies worldwide, where they are, or even the general insurance companies in India, I think they have taken a leap ahead in the digitization journey. So in the life side, we still need to see, it's like we are a mixture of protection and savings business. We run two businesses simultaneously. So I would say on the aspect of protection, a lot of digitization is happening. A lot of the risk appetite of the companies, where they are understanding what they can underwrite without any intervention or any manual intervention. So those kind of onboard, and without, while creating ease for customers, can the risk not be compromised? And that's where I think the digitization journey is trying to help us by doing both simultaneously. And I think that's the beauty of it, that the technology is initially, when we used to say that okay, too much of stringent underwriting means you are rejecting a lot of proposals and you are not taking those customers the risk on our books. But now I think we have been able to fine tune, we have been able to customize the products, the offerings, the pricing sometimes. So in the general insurance industry, we see it more, as I said, the pricing being customized to who is driving the car. But in the life insurance side, we are still like going. The problem is the health data is not yet captured very well. So the issue is that it's not in one place, it's not available readily. So when you want to do a customized kind of underwriting or a customized product offering, that becomes like the biggest bottleneck. So one kind of a health repository which is common and unique, and like we have done it on the financial side. There's the account aggregators are really helping us improve this digitalization journey, because what happens is, when I want a data on, if I use just the Aadhaar number or a PAN number and I look for information on the financial side, we can take the permission of the client and get access to that information, but not same on the health side. So I think that's like once that health journey gets completed, then maybe I can say that digitization it will be a big leap forward for the life insurance industry.
True. That's right. Sir, any personal experience of yours of digitization in your early organizations, this organization, whichever, where you feel कि कुछ किया digitization and something which came up very nice?
See, I think a few things which we have really done right is to create a lot of onboarding ease for the customers when he's coming to us. Earlier it was like you have to enter so many data fields, but now it's like if you just share the Aadhaar number and or the PAN number, and you are giving in the access to us to collect that information, fetch that information for you, then we don't need to fill the fields manually. So maybe the address, the nominee details, the parents, the the information about the customer, a large part of it gets captured immediately, and that is happened because of digitization process only, and because the account aggregators have made it so easy. The insurance information bureau database also, so the past information about his policy, existing policies, also comes at one go, and that we have enabled through our tools here. So the agent or the person who is at the sales officers or the bank SPs who are trying to sell the policies, they all are enabled with this tool where they can actually don't need to fill hundreds of fields. I mean, so it has come down from say 60-70 information fields which you were earlier asking for to say 20-25 fields, and that also can get self-populated. See, for the ease of onboarding, I think that has been a very important focus for us. We have already enabled multiple journeys for the client, where including WhatsApp actually, where he can on few clicks or few fields he can fill up and he can kind of buy the whole policy, and multiple products are being now set up on that platform. So WhatsApp is being used. We have a health app called UMatter, which we are giving to all the existing customers, but at some stage we will perhaps like to use it as an onboarding tool as well. So there are a lot of products again which have been set up in that particular app. It's essentially a health app for the existing customers, but people can buy other policies or other products from the same app. So the AI powered chatbots are assisting customers 24/7. So on the onboarding side, I think those kind of developments have already happened. They are answering the queries, they are giving policy information, they're guiding the customers through the application process. So it has actually reduced the human intervention a lot and has sped up the onboarding journey or the whole process. It has improved customer experience and also perhaps reduced the operational costs. In fact, I see on the risk side, if I come to the risk side, the AI is actually helping us get the documents verified much more easily, including the identity proof, income statements, using those image recognition or natural language processing capabilities. So it actually helps us speed up the verification process. So to that matter, it is easing the onboarding journey as well as reducing the risks which are associated, because the verification of the documents is far more accurate and we can trust or rely upon that. The AI algorithms are able to analyze vast amount of data from various sources, including as I said, social media or wearables as well, or medical records. So the risk profile is assessed much more accurately through the aid of these tools. So we have this human intelligence, but it is augmented by this AI intelligence. So it enhances the precision, I would say, of underwriting decisions and reduces the time required for the assessment. I think at the next stage we have been using the Salesforce CRM, which is DigiCare we call it, and that's really helped us do the service. I mean, it has linked, for example, a client comes with a request at a branch or at the bank branch, or maybe calls on the phone. So all of that is kind of now linked, so that in one case he has come, say for example, at the bank branch and is asking that I had made this call 3 days back and I had requested for this. Then the person at the branch is able to immediately help out because he knows that, and there is a tracking of that. So those kind of things are happening. So he doesn't need to repeat everything again and saying that, or he has put an email, so that also is getting connected. So it's like he has accessed us from whatever means. The next person has that information, and then he can help. And you pick up the thing from there. The discussion, wherever it had ended, it can start again from there. So you don't need to repeat and cover up and explain everything once again.
That's very nice.
So similarly, on the lead management side also, to help our salespeople, we have come out with a solution which is really putting things together. And once he has entered, then it prompts him for many things. Maybe if it's a client's birthday or client's has to be reminded of his renewal. So all the aspects of that again has been put in one particular place for the salesperson. So it is, one is enabling the salesperson, one is enabling the customer when he's coming on board, and the second one, once our service people and the customer themselves when they are interacting for any kind of service. So that is the help there. On the claim side, I feel that we are wanting to do that journey where claims can be settled automatically through AI and all in say 2 minutes or 5 minutes. But it's still, we are in that journey. But I would say that claim automation has helped us reduce and check frauds also at the same time, and also improve the turnaround time. So automation actually has helped us in all the buckets, I would say.
Great. Suppose if we were to look at automation, an amazing automation, an extraordinary one. We don't have to look at your company, your achievements, or even our insurance industry. If you have to look at, I say, hona chahiye, something that's wow factor.
See,
Can you give an example like that?
So I want, for example, my customers to get the policy issued while they are, interacting with the bank branch, with the branch manager or the SP who is handling them. So while doing the interaction itself, within 2 minutes to 5 minutes, he has shared his details and which policy he wants and what sum assured he wants. And within 5 minutes, if we are able to issue all the policy, that will be important for us, because currently we are saying that the journey is like it will take about half an hour and we can still issue you the policy. But can it be reduced to 2 minutes or 5 minutes?
Like a GI policy.
Like say Lemonade, I see worldwide doing that. They say that they claim that within 90 seconds they can issue the policy. So why we can't do that here? So I think that would be a wow moment for me, because, and without compromising the underwriting standards. So without because see, now that if the health database is available and we have the financial aggregation already happening, we also get the past insurance information also available from IIB database. So if everything is available, and maybe the underwriting tools are so advanced now that they can do underwriting from other factors as well, or the social media interactions or things in the past, credit behaviors. So all that perhaps can be used to do that underwriting. Can that happen all within a minute or within 2 minutes? And
it's a desire, a dream.
That's like I feel that if it is already happening worldwide, it should not be very far away dream. It should happen maybe in a year's or 2 years time across the industry here as well. Because if one company worldwide is proving it that they can do it within that short kind of time.
You mentioned a couple of times about the common health records, which unfortunately India doesn't have. So do you think that's likely to happen with IIB in place, Ayushman Bharat also playing some role in this? And do you think financials already, as you said, to a great extent is available, minus the agricultural part obviously, which is a big chunk in our country. But do you think the health records, we are fast enough as a nation? Because I've been talking to some people in the ministry and trying to find out what is their roadmap. So I really don't have an answer on that piece. But when you're interacting with the authorities, do you think that is something coming up on that line, and our dream can become really true?
I have a feeling that it will become true. I mean, because the government of India is really pushing hard to see that we develop this kind of a repository, and maybe the hospital networks have to come forward and share things and put it in a common place. We have to take the consent of the customers also to have access to that, because I think that's where maybe when he's coming for something, we can say that you can share it for limited purposes rather than only for that particular purpose.
That will be a DPT will take care of.
So I think that's where some customers do not want to share it at all, thinking or worrying about the future that if it can it be misused, or for wrong reasons if it is used. So I think the health records coming and getting pooled in one place will be a big milestone. I mean, in this entire digitalization journey, as you can see in the financial side, on the banking side, I feel India has done progress which perhaps it's others in the world are trying to emulate. Whereas in the on this particular aspect, we are still lagging behind because of the health repository. So I think, but with Aadhaar, with I think the banking network, with the mobile infrastructure now, and with the intent of regulator. See, we have to show the positive side of this. Where what is the advantage of of having this kind of a thing, where can the medical infrastructure become so robust and so good that it helps the client solve the problem in a today if you are getting discharged it takes so much of time and all that. So can that all that process become very smooth, with that repository coming up with when you get the admission, no need to do all the test again, because you already have the test maybe done maybe 6 months back or 1 year back, and half of them at least can be eliminated. So if he's going for some treatment, you need not actually repeat or do all of them all over again. So those kind of advantages, if we show to the client that these are cost saving as well as time saving, unnecessary hassles also he can avoid, and at the same time the safety and security of the data has been taken care of. So that comfort and the advantages of going through this journey without any hassles, I think that can really make it fly.
True. I have one question. Like when we talk about digitalization, do we think as an insurance industry our focus is more on onboarding, or has it taken equal space on servicing and risk management? More on risk management, let's say.
I would say servicing also, in that true sense. I mean, servicing has really taken off, but onboarding is where we have been lagging behind. I would say, in the sense that we have tried to create all sort of things, but that dream of 2 minutes is still not there. Even on the claims settlement side, I think risk mitigation has been happening. We're using some of the AI tools to understand if it's a genuine claim or not, and then focus if there is some problem with those claims, and there is an effort to see that genuine customers and the genuine claims, they do not get impacted because of those 1% or 0.5% claims going wrong or in the wrong direction. So I feel the automation is touching the lives everywhere in the entire space, but I think onboarding is also, it's not that we have not done a lot of good work there, but then can we make it better? Of course, I feel that dream has to happen.
But focus is more on onboarding than risk management, right?
See, risk management in insurance is on the protection side, and you have to again bifurcate it, because 95% of the premiums are the savings premium. And still that's how the industry is operating. But interest rates are high, and then the people want to take advantage of that and have a return and a good return coming in. So there, we have the risk management becomes very different, because it's a asset liability mismatch which becomes important for the customer, for the company. If you have given guarantees of say 6% to the customer, then we have to generate 7.5 to 8% to service that 6% kind of a guarantee, and the guarantee is for 20 or 30 years. So it becomes a very different risk management perspective. Compared to that risk, then the protection risk becomes very small. So I would say that it's not that the companies are not focused on that part, but they have. I think on the underwriting side, if I see the claim ratios, I think there is some kind of surplus getting generated every year on the mortality side. So that means, or it shows that the pricing and the risk management is happening quite well. Otherwise, also if you see, we have 2-3 layers. Like say on the reserving side, there is an initial cushion which you build in. Then you have your reinsurance arrangements which really help you again to mitigate some part of the risk. I mean, it's not reducing the risk, but it is like kind of controlling or managing the risk. From that side, I'm coming. But if you are talking about the fraudulent risk, for example, if somebody is trying to do an anti-selection, and how do you control that kind of a risk? That also is happening through the AI tools which are now getting inbuilt into the system. We are able to understand that perhaps this client had some kind of surgery earlier in some hospital, but as I said, that the database has to be there, and if somebody is not declaring it wrongly, maybe that perhaps will get into the system and perhaps will be weeded out. And gradually that improvement in that cycle or in that journey is starting to become visible. But until unless we have a complete and all the insurers also have to share their information back to that repository. So it's not only the health hospitals or the TPAs or everybody has to come together and create that kind of required infrastructure.
So, as an actuary, since you've been talking about mortality profits, as an actuary, have you seen or have you been involved in any sort of a digitization which would have created an impact on the mortality profits or the claims experience? Not necessarily in this company, earlier organizations.
See, I
Any
think
other
here we
experience?
have created a very important claim settlement journey or a system tool which really helped customers to log in their complaints on the PMJJBY side and to find out and settle the claims. Even if we found that in this bank account has stopped operating and figure out as to what happened. So proactively can we go back, and so during COVID time it really helped a lot because people were struggling to file the claims and all that. So that kind of it was a small system intervention, but it helped a lot of clients to really get their dues. So those kind of things will keep on happening because any problem will any crisis will help you enable you to come out with something new. So those kind of things will keep on happening, and I think that's but that's just to make the journey very simple for the client while filing the claims. That's what I remember offhand, because most of the other things are I would say supported by some of the other vendor who are coming up and they are helping us, and they have seen that this kind of journey has helped other clients also in the process. So we may not be the first to implement some of these things, but as I said, but in the CRM tool, I felt we were one of the first to use the Salesforce CRM, and it is an amazing tool again, which is helping the clients get the best on their servicing side. So any kind of service request, and the turnaround times are dramatically reduced. So on the the asset liability management side, I feel that it's not only about the risk mitigation but also to enhance the returns. That also really becomes a very important element of success for a life insurance company. If you can generate a superior return, which is just 0.5% more than say the industry, then you can price the products little better. You can give that return, pass it on to the customer. So how can we manage the investments better is also a challenge for the insurance companies. I mean, where we compete with any other savings related, whether they are mutual fund industry or where the return generation becomes very important.
But the difference is we are sitting on a 2 or 3 decade cycle, whereas they don't sit on that bigger cycle, right?
No, it's not like that. I mean, see, the money which now we are generating or the premium which we are receiving, that has to be managed well to generate that extra 0.5% delta. Now, even if you are giving guaranteed returns of 6%, instead of generating 7.5%, can we generate 8%? That 0.5% itself can help us price the products better and to generate better returns for the shareholders, as well as distributors can be given better commissions. So that pressure on the investment side and doing a superior risk management on the underwriting side, on the liability side, both have to work simultaneously. And that's where we are also trying to focus that how we can be good on the investment front as well. So it's one side is that you reduce the claim and you see that the liabilities don't overshoot what you have reserved for and what you have priced for. But on the same side, can we be a little better off on the investment side, on the asset side also?
True. Now, when you're talking about asset and the liability, the ALM part of it, SUD Life is a bank-owned company. So, how do you look at it? Of course, without digitization, it may not be possible. How do you look at digitalization from a banking and an insurance managed point of view, so that it's a win-win for both? Of course, there is the challenge of data privacy, etc.
No, I think it's a very good question, because see there, it's like a our app, for example, even if we launch or our website, it is not used by the customer so often. It's like only for paying the renewal premiums after a year or so that he'll come back again to that same app. Or if he has multiple 2-3 policies, maybe he'll visit it twice or thrice a year. But if it's a bank, he has to visit the app very frequently for different transactions. So we try and see that we are present on the bank app or the bank website in a strong way, and the platforms have some kind of an interface, API based linkage, where things, if the client shows interest, then he don't need to come out of that and then have a separate journey. So he can use that platform and he can still come onto that insurance journey and complete the whole journey. So I think that integration is really helping us. I mean, that's, I would say, again, a significant milestone in our digitization process. I mean, that getting integrated well with the bank. and becoming having a prominent interface on the website or the app of the bank.
But work still needs to be done.
Yeah, of course we are doing it right now. We have integrated and we have put some of the products there already. So, and customers are able to buy those products actually.
Maybe one last question from my side. As a dynamic leader, and you have been very aggressive, dynamic, and you have done a lot of role changes in your organization, you've got a different thought process. So, you have mentioned your desire about issuing a policy in a minute, trying to settle a claim in a minute. That's nice. Where do you think are the gaps as an industry, as a country, and how do you think these missing gaps can be filled? So, as a leader, probably how do we go about, because we contribute, industry contributes a big percentage to the GDP of the nation. So, how do we fill up this gap?
See, I think there are, these are not gaps to 1 minute or 2 minute issues. I feel that now we have become a little more ambitious that this can happen in a minute or two, because the AI tools which have evolved over the time, I mean, I think they are making us, become so ambitious, because we realize that this can be used now and also the data infrastructure which has come up in the country. I mean, we may not have, we are still working and improving on other infrastructure thing, but if you see the financial infrastructure, the data capture which we are doing here in this country, I think that's where we have a leeway, even sometimes I would say better than some of the advanced countries or the most developed countries. So can we leverage all of that to do all of these? And that's where I'm saying that I think it is our ambition to issue a policy in 1 minute, or issue and solve the claim in 1 minute or 2 minutes, but I think it is getting enabled because of the digital infrastructure which we are creating across different domains. It's not only about the financial domain, but health domain as we discussed, or the telecom infrastructure, the Aadhaar linked infrastructure, and where people are willing to kind of share things and put things in one. The account aggregator framework, for example, coming in, it is going to go a long way in many domains other than insurance as well. So I think the industry has to also come up and share a few things from our side. For example, if we have underwritten some policies or some issues and we have noticed some problems, we can highlight to the client, make him avail that health thing which he requires for him to become back healthy once again. But if we don't use it negatively and we use the data positively, I think it can go a real long way.
Great. I think thanks for your views, Abhay, and I'm sure you will be driving this company to a great success.
Thank you so much.
You will use the word AI too many times, so I can see you're full gung-ho about it.
Great. I think like say it's a revolution happening and silently happening. So we just want to be a part of it. I feel that the large language models which are being trained. I mean, I think the vernacular things which some people are becoming. That's perhaps one of the reasons why they're not able to participate in the mainstream. That will go away. I mean, if I see the challenges emanating just because of the sheer use of language, or the not understanding of English, for example, that kind of handicaps will go away. And if these AI tools are able to read and interpret any kind of say medical reports or things coming out from different hospitals in different formats, and all of them can get aggregated in one place. I think most of the things which we have discussed, they can get resolved very quickly.
So fingers crossed.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Abhay. Nice meeting you. Nice talking to you. Thanks for your contribution.
Thank you.
I'm sure it will be great value add.
Thank you so